Thank you, Alec. I had my mic muted. Lots of problems this morning. Yeah, I think I turned my alarm off on Saturday or something, and I forgot to turn it back on last night, so I woke up a little behind. So all of that was for naught. But I was talking about, I mean, Kron being in a new industry. Um, a lot of these marijuana stocks just gonna have huge years. This has already doubled. If this thing forms a little base, you just have to buy this, but you don't buy it until it forms the base. Reason being, it can have these big throwbacks. Will it? I don't know if it will. I mean, it's such a. Some of these are very obvious plays. A lot of investors want to get involved, but you still have to follow the rules and wait for the proper setup in order to buy. IQ here looking really good. $30 high up here at 46. Yeah, 46 looks pretty good. You've got a nice declining volume, but the price is starting to rise a little bit. Looks like a lot of the selling has left the market. Really hasn't been going down for about a week or so. So that's good with IQ. ZS, a recent issue with earnings coming up very soon, so this may be a risky one. It's already up 5%, so it's basically almost out of a buy zone right now. No major breakout volume, so that could be a yellow flag or a red flag depending on your situation. Huya, kind of the same thing with IQ, both streaming Chinese services. IQ looks a little better, breaking the trend line first. WB, see what's going on here. Win. There's DocU. Pulling back a little bit after breaking an all-time high slightly. We'll see if we get a little pullback. That would be probably pretty good for DocU. It has earnings coming up, 9.5, so you can probably expect some volatility. And everything's moving around on my chart here, or my list. Man, Kron gangbusters. Milo's not doing too bad down here either. Check out this 5-minute. See volume a little bigger on one of these last 5-minute candle here. This first one, volume's a little bigger than this previous one, but it's not really breakout volume potential. Cisco is such a massive stock. It has a huge float, if I remember. Let me check it out on FinViz. Float is almost 8 billion shares float, meaning that's how many shares are available to trade. So it's going to take a lot of money to move this thing. But very good looking base here so far. I mean, it's fully capable of having volume higher than average, but it does it kind of in spurts. You can see the average is so high, 20 million shares average volume. I'm sorry, 50 million shares average volume. No, it's 20 million. And we're at today 1.2. So not even close to breakout volume levels. Oh, and you can see there's a bit more selling. BE's come back a little bit. Was down 6%, while everything else was green. Now we have a few things going red for the day here. We see the Nasdaq not really going a little higher, selling off. Doesn't mean life's over. Twitter backing off, just to be expected. So Twitter is kind of in a garbage place. We got Fizz doing pretty good here though, 1.2%. Looks like trying to slowly break out over this little consolidation. Very healthy little consolidation, little sideways action there. That's healthy. BE kind of giving you a bit of a chance to get in. May it pull back a little sooner? It could. It could still pull in a little more. Where's my options? There we go. So there's your volume right there. You see the IPO. You see these green days right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you see, well, I'm not sure what today's volume. 145 today. There's no average yet. What up, Eli? I only got pants over here, buddy. BE's given a chance to get in right here. BE's looking pretty good for a pullback entry. It's in its own world. BE and marijuana stocks, as it should be. It's a freaking awesome product. Not sure if the company's awesome from a fundamental standpoint, but I know the product's awesome. And right now, trying to go back up towards that breakout point. We could have a pretty good green day if this kind of volume keeps up. Let's, I'm not sure about the volume. I mean, action. Let's go to the 5-minute and see if it's great volume on the upswing there. Volume's fairly normalized here. It's a little aggressive, but fairly normalized. They're just eating this thing up, as they should, to be honest with you. If I had a couple billion to manage, I'd be loading up in BE. Just from the gate. I'm like, okay, I got a 2-year time horizon. This thing's good. So IQ is one I'm liking right here, right now. IQ is good. The volume's good compared to yesterday already. And getting it back to 46 seems pretty normalized right there. So you're looking at some farther out options. You're looking at some pretty good price increases. Not quite sure what the Chinese market's doing, honestly, but no, I didn't get into BE yet. I don't quite know what to do with BE, to be honest with you. $172 days. That's actually good, Eli. Got to break even before you can make money. I was actually listening to an interview with Peter Thiel last night. He says it takes a lot of traders like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years to learn their strategy and what they want to do. So, dude, break even's a way in the right direction. That is not a bad thing. Break even's not bad. As long as you're in the game, you're in the game. You know, unfortunately, this is a very long and drawn out game. It's not like a championship where you win all of a sudden. I mean, unless you get a 1 billion% gainer and choose to walk away. So yeah, BE not looking too bad actually from a number of perspectives. Already being a 33% gain. Yeah, you can go up to February and have a pretty good return as long as it continues in an uptrend. I don't know what you mean by that. If you got 1,000% gain, how are you losing? Are you saying they get greedy and never sell it? Well, so that, I think that's the difference in strategies. I mean, I think there's a huge difference in people that are consistently profitable on any time frame. It just depends on the strategy. There's guys that take 20 to 30% off of positions all the time, and they look for the next one. There's guys that try to go for the home runs, and then they take those profits. Yeah, no, you don't hodl. There's profit taking involved. Hopefully everyone here has learned that. You do have to take profits. That's part of the game too. It's not just buying and never selling. That's not trading. That is blind faith in something that it is at its essential level a Ponzi scheme. I'm not saying that to be derogatory to the market, but there's really no value in any of this crap. I mean, just to be quite honest with you, you have to sell to someone. So someone has to be willing to pay your price for your stock or coin, and that's you're waiting for the next guy to pay you, and that's about it. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Eli. I think the guys who take profits, yeah, they get to write the books. Absolutely. Yep. So you got to take the profits, but there's and it just depends on the strategy. There's a million ways to trade the markets, and each is viable in its own fashion. Not all of them may be for you, not you individually, Eli, but anyone. I mean, like I know I won't trade certain strategies because it doesn't make logical sense to my brain, and a lot of other people have different brains than me, so my strategy doesn't work for them. That's fine. I hope they're all successful, but unfortunately, to be successful in the markets, you have to sell to someone else. Darn it! Hate it when the mouse moves. Man, here still continuing a little bit of a downward slide. Nasdaq looks great. Broke up from that that potential diamond top. So, like I said, it is an index. It does behave differently than stocks. Indexes don't necessarily trade chart patterns. But right there, all-time high in the Nasdaq. Fantastic. TQQQ right there. And I opened my children up a Roth IRA yesterday. They're 7 and 4 and already up 1.6% on their account from Friday. So there you go. Happy dad. Happy dad right there. So, no, it's actually on Fidelity. I won't be actively trading their account, and it's not. You can't make a Roth IRA for as much as IB requires to open an account. No, I just put $600 in each of their account, pretty much what you have to make in order not to pay taxes. So when they file their taxes this year, they won't have to pay anything, and then they have a Roth IRA. So good to go. Oh, really? Last week? Is that good or bad? Is that good or bad? Let's check it out. But yeah, so Fidelity has $5 trades, and I don't anticipate trading their account very often. But their platform is beautiful. Like, it's really beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful platform. Education products overview. Beautiful. Yeah, that's one of the few things that actually matters is commissions, right? So, oh wow. IB has an educator program. That'd be cool. What up, Rebel? Yeah, no, I wouldn't buy Kron now. No, I talked about this. This is a great. This thing's basically doubled in a week. So this is prime candidate for what's called a high tight flag. Um, there you go. So this is prime candidate for what's called a high tide flag. So if it forms a nice sideways consolidation here, that would be considered a high tide flag. The definition of a high tide flag is something that goes up 80 to 120% within 3 weeks, and this thing did it in 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3. So it has the first leg, the first part of the high tide flag done. Right, see, up 115%. The second part is a 15 less than a 15% consolidation. So right there. So some kind of a pattern here. And I think it's for 3 weeks. I think you have to have 3 weeks here. So that would be a high tide flag, and that would be an entry point. CGC, holy shit. Cascade Natural Gas? Wow, look at that volume. You're welcome, Rebel. Did you have that? Did you have those marijuana trades last week? There was someone that came in here that had a bunch of marijuana or had a marijuana trade that was up like 70% and was thinking about selling. I'm like, nope, don't sell. So we got earnings coming up in this guy. Looks like tomorrow after earnings for TLRY. So that'll probably maybe that'll negate this high tide flag here, but we'll see. You're in TLRY? Nice. Someone was in from like stupid levels in one of the marijuana stocks. I don't remember which. Yeah, CGC, that volume is phenomenal. That's all I got to say about that. That's just phenomenal. What's Cisco doing here with lackluster volume? When would I enter B? Well, B's having a little bit of a pullback right now, so it could be good. It could be good as a pullback entry right now. I mean, so this is an IPO, so it is going to be very volatile, but it's already broken out of an IPO base, and it's just pulled back. Today is the first day, so you could get in BE today. But just to be honest with you, and just to keep it real, well, I have no position in the stock right now. I've known about this stock, and I'm very biased towards this stock and what they do. So, but that's just being completely honest with you. That's why I follow this company. It's not for any technical reason whatsoever, but it does look, I mean, even technically, it looks pretty healthy. It's not unhealthy from a technical perspective. So I mean, it's a pretty obvious chart to me, at least. So here's the volume. You can see right there, increasing volume on the way up, decreasing volume here on the way down, all the way down to that last red candle, which is low volume. Then boom, high volume here, and then off to the races, and a first pullback. So you could buy BE here, but you're not going to get a good stop loss. This may be a stock that you hold for a while. You're 30% down here to an actual good stop loss point. So this is technically not a good trade because you don't have a great stop loss point. And even if you're down 8%, it could just be normal market gyrations. Like there's 8%. That's your IBD maximum stop loss rule. That is not out of the realm of possibility for this stock. So if you're going to get involved in Bloom, understand what you're getting involved in. This is not This is a good. The pattern here is not bad. I do like it, but it can be very volatile and likely will be very volatile. I would anticipate you holding through a drawdown of sorts. What's that going to look like? That's impossible to say. That's impossible to say. But all you got to do there is, you trade it or you don't, or you just trade a smaller position size. That's something that you can do with relatively low risk. So I just want to put that out there for you in BE. I know I talk about it a lot, and I don't want people just to trade something as I like it. That's not how you should trade. You should trade something based off of its own merits, off of your analysis, so you are able to make sound, proper decisions instead of listening to some guy on your computer screen. Just keeping it real with you guys. I didn't get any water, guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab some water. Oh, okay, I'm live. I thought I muted my mic. I did not. Okie dokie. All right, so let's check on what's what here, guys. We got IQ, which is putting in a pretty good day. I don't mind IQ here today. Check that out, Eli. Looks pretty good. Broke the declining trend line. Could possibly start to curl up here on the daily. It looks pretty good. We've had about a week or two without a down day. Good volume here. 5 million, where your average is 25 million. So that's good volume. This thing could have a pretty big volume day in IQ. Fizz up 2% today. Doing good things. I'm going to take over 4. So there's Fizz slowly going higher. Fizz doing good things. PKG doing good things. Maybe I should get back into PKG. We had a pretty good option in PKG. Probably isn't too far out of whack here because there's really not a lot of volatility in here, at least comparatively. It's not running. It's going pretty much sideways. So PKG may be good for an entry. We got Twitter here. Looking pretty good. TTMI starting to curl back up a little bit. A little bit of curling. I'm still in that dog for some reason. Match.com, pretty healthy action. Little bit of a roundover pattern here. Maybe it'll pause here and give us a trend line to buy off of, but not as of yet. Generac still chopping around, but in highs, so that's good. Hasn't quite got going though. FFIV on the move. Absolutely. Dude, you got to admit those curls are nice when you see them, Eli. I'm not even joking about that one. When you see the stock curl, I mean, especially in coins, like we saw one recently, that's my new thing. I mean, I've noticed it for a long time, but I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, no one really talks about stocks curling up. And I noticed, if you notice these little curls, they usually precede a breakout. And I think it has to do with extreme lack of selling pressure, but in the institutions really trying to get the last few in their coffers before they let it run. FFIV doing pretty good things here. No real breakout volume though. That's a little bit of a negative on FFIV. But it's pretty good. I'm at 50% in my option. About freaking time one of these trades works. Fizz is doing okay. Cores is doing okay. Generac and here not doing so good. Regeneron, I hate you. And TTMI, not doing so good either. Regeneron's what pissed me off. Even though I bought one option, it was $3,000. And I'm like, oh, thanks for being down 40%, Mr. $3,000 trade. All right, so Tilroy, FFIV. Team is still chopping around. Yeah, Core's doing pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. They're not doing a whole lot. We've got Twitter today up 1.75%, so it's starting to make some headway, which is good. It's had several days of green here without a lot of selling pressure. I don't think too many institutions wanted to get out of Twitter. There was just a reaction to the earnings and the news coming out of Facebook, but with the general market coming back, Twitter may regain some. I don't think it's gonna go back to its former glory, and I'm still gonna be down huge in the position, but I'm hoping to get a lot of that back. So maybe I close out only down 40% instead of way more than that. Is kind of what I'm hoping for right now. And I mean, so far it's working. We still got till January, so I'm not super stressed about it. But chart patterns that can come out of this. I mean, you can come up here, you can fail, you can base here. You have another earnings report that'll probably hold through, and then maybe gap up. Um, yeah, no, it's only like negative 320%. Eli, don't get crazy. And IQ is still rocking up about 8%, holding up higher here. Very good movement in IQ today. As a matter of fact, I was going to see if I wanted to buy some options, but I don't have much cash left in the account. And I can't buy the one I want, which sucks. So I may have to let it go. Or do I buy the individual stock, which would still get you about a 50% return. Not too mad at a 50% return. And Huya right up there with IQ. Look at that. Volume here very good, almost as high as yesterday, and we're already 30 minutes into the day. Good question on Riot. Haven't talked about Riot in a while. 562. Coming back down with Bitcoin. Yeah, so Riot's putting in a rising channel. So Riot's in a rising channel, not a bullish pattern as we know. Hey, look at the head and shoulders in Riot. Look at that. Let's see where this is supposed to go down to. Looks like $3.86 or something like that. NVIDIA. Let's check it out. Let's check out NVIDIA. Oh yeah, definitely a little horizontal level right there. Breakout volume almost there. Not quite, but almost. I guess the question is, are you going to get 20% out of NVIDIA? Or is this a huge rounded top? We're looking at 324 for NVIDIA. Well, this is for. I've been looking at a lot of IPOs, and I don't get volume on IPOs unless they're over 50 days old via this average volume. This is standard volume. That's why. What was our target? To 324. Uh, 324 gives you about 125% into January. Well, self-driving's already taking off. I mean, it's not manufacturer level yet, though. And that's a long cycle. That's going to be a 2 or 3 year cycle. So I don't know if you buy options on that. You can go out to January 2020 if you want to. That'll get you out pretty far. You could probably buy a deep in the money call, which is something like a 175. Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't. That's not really a tradable event. But you're right. Nvidia is definitely a leader in the space. Let's go look at the weekly chart. Okay. 10 bagger in 3 years. Welcome to the club, Nvidia. It's not about video cards anymore, is it? So plenty of bases here to buy NVIDIA. This is a very, very late stage base. Volume has declined though, which is healthy. That means they're not really distributing that much. So definitely could get going, but man, I'm really liking NQ here today. Or I'm sorry, IQ. Just don't know what I can do with it. And I have to buy a very short-term option to really even make this viable for my account at least. If you guys are just buying stock positions, I don't think buying IQ here is very dangerous, to be honest with you. I think there's you do have a deep stop loss here, about 20%, but I think overall IQ, look where it pulled back here to this very small consolidation. So I think it's pretty healthy. The IQ is very healthy right here. Huya as well. Huya looking pretty good. Now let's look at Huya. Can't get into IQ, maybe we can get into Huya. Although I kind of doubt that. You're going up to 51. Yeah, I got Momo fourth on my list here. So 51 in Huya. I could do Huya. And that's a tremendous price gain. That's a 10-bagger, Eli. That's a 10-bagger if this thing gets back by the end of the year. So I could I'll take a position on a potential 10-bagger. Good volume here today, taking out this prior high right there, this low area. I think I'm going to buy me some Huya. What are we going to get, Eli? I'm going to put it in the watch list. I'm going to get... Let's do... Okay, so going for January, where's our break even that we like? We gonna go with break even or max percentage gain? We got some crazy crazy options for yes I did, and that's why I continue to say it. All right, so let's do that one. Look for Huya in the watch list right there. Eli just popped up. There you go. Huya, Eli? I don't know what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about. All right. Gonna Huya. That's what I'm going to say from now on. Gonna Huya. Right there, Huya. It's perfectly viable pronunciation of Huya right there. All right, gonna Huya. Let's do it. Figures like getting on one of the gamble trades, but what the hell? If something's gonna work, why not? Come on, you garbage. Killing me. Wow, this platform is just complete and utter garbage. Oh, they won't let me buy Huya. Sons of bitches. Why won't you let me buy it? They'll let me buy IQ, but they won't let me buy Huya. God damn it. In terms of PKG, so I actually don't mind PKG down here because, I mean, you're close to a resistance point. I'm sorry, a support point. I actually bought it over here, right about that on that green day. Yeah, I don't mind a PKG buy down here because you're pretty close to that support point. Down about 4.75%, so you have about a 5% risk on that. So yeah, I don't mind buying down here, but it definitely could break out. PKG, a very high quality company, very good chart pattern. Did I miss that one? Oh, okay. Sorry, Alec, I missed your question. OKTA and DEC. Yeah, so I think both look like valid chart patterns. Looks like this is better quarterly earnings. Looks like they have a hard time with their third quarter. Deckers does. Um, no, looks pretty fine here. You've got for it is a third stage base, so later stage bases are more likely to fail. But the market's in a very good mood right now. So I would probably continue. I think it's probably a lot of things are probably going to continue here as Nasdaq breaks into new highs. I think DEC is good, but you do have to wait for the breakout. And OKTA, I think I saw this yesterday in IBD as well. Um, so I think it has some good. I think it has some good things going to it here. So it has kind of a flat area at about 58, 56. It's above that right now. The volume is a little lackluster though, so this is not yet breakout volume. If you are interested, I would maybe take a smaller position in OKTA, just due to the volume situation. But yeah, I think they're both perfectly viable chart patterns. And you can see here they don't have to run on super volume, but there's kind of a textbook way that breakouts should look, and this does not look like a textbook version of a breakout. So, but it could get moving. Volume, or I'm sorry, earnings coming up here pretty soon. 9/16, so that could be interesting. All right, so I can't buy Huya. Eli, buy some for me, because I can't do it. Son of a bitch. All right, guys, I got to run. You bought two? Good job, Eli. Buy one for me, and I'll send you $50 or whatever. Yeah, I got to run, guys. I got to get my kids ready for school. I'll be back and try to work out my account problems. Thanks for joining me, guys. See you guys tomorrow.